We had that storm not that long ago. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago. And I would say once a week anyway, I'll kind of take a look at my roof. I don't get on the roof, but I've got a deck where I can stand on the deck and see my roof. I like to eyeball it and just see if anything's out of place. But if you had storm damage or maybe you're thinking about doing some roofing or repair, a great place to call where they have the expertise is Nordine's Remodeling. And Mike Kearns from Nordine's joins us on the telephone right now. Mike, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
People think of Nordine's for remodeling a kitchen or a bathroom or adding an extra room, but you do roofing and you do repair. Let's talk a little bit about what kind of calls did you get after the most recent storm, and just tell us about how often you should take a look at your roof and make sure that things are up to speed.
You should have a look at that roof every time you get a storm that goes through, because it's pretty hard to gauge what kind of damage you get without actually getting up there and taking a look at the thing. If there's hail been through, you've had some really strong winds, you thought there was a tornado, as a possibility that roof is loosened shingles, it's had pock marks from the hail, it's had all kinds of possibilities. And the easiest way to look at that thing and see what's going on with it is to look at the gutters and see if there's any dents in the gutters.
So the gutters
that's pretty much giveaway.
That's the barometer right there, and it's the closest thing that you can see without getting up on the roof. But when one of your technicians, when one of your people get up on a roof, and they're looking for those kinds of things, what is I've got a ladder. I'll get up on the roof a couple of times a year. I don't know if I accomplish anything, but it makes me feel better that I looked and everything seems normal. But I don't have the knowledge of somebody like one of you or one of your colleagues at Nordine. So what is it that you see that's a dead giveaway that, hey, something needs to be repaired, or maybe the life of this roof has passed or will soon pass?
Well, the biggest giveaway right away is that there's a lot of extra granules in the gutters or on the ground around the house. Missing shingles obviously are a giveaway. You'll find pieces of shingle in the yard, and that's an absolute sign that you're going to need a roof in the next year or two. The roof itself will appear kind of bruised. I mean, if it's a darker roof, you'll see almost what looks like bruises in the shingle itself. Those things are pretty good indicators that something's going on and needs some attention.
That's a great tip right there. So I don't really even have to get up on my roof in that situation. And I think we've all experienced this. Any of us who've been homeowners for a long enough period of time, I remember that when the roof that we replaced on the house was reaching the end of its lifespan, that right in front of the drainage spouts, the downspouts, you'd see little granules from the shingles, and you're saying as soon as you see those, you're going to want to call somebody and get somebody out and make sure that you can get that repaired, because if you let that go too long, then you're going to have some sort of breach up there, aren't you?
It is normal that you'll shed some shingles up there, but on the other hand, if you get an excessive amount, and generally if they're visible, that's a lot. So yes, that's what you need to be looking for, and it is pretty much a giveaway that some attention needs to be paid to that roof.
Mike Kearns is our guest from Nordine's Remodeling. Their number is 888-4662. So does it cost anything to get somebody out from Nordine's to take a look, inspect the roof?
It does not. You don't have to wait till a roof leaks in order for it to require a repair. And sometimes a timely repair will keep you from having to spend money on an entire roof.
I know with the evolution of roofing products over the years that I'm fairly confident in saying that a roof will last a little bit longer than it did for my dad in his time. But what is the normal lifespan for a well laid roof?
We see roofs in the 10 to 15 year range that need replacing, but a roof should last significantly longer than that. The shingles themselves are rated for 25 to 30 years, and with the right warranty, CertainTeed has a program called a 5-star warranty. As long as you have a certified shingle applicator, which we are, that will get you to 50 years on parts and labor, essentially.
But is that realistic, to have shingles that are going to last 20, 25 years?
That is realistic, yes.
Okay, so a good product, properly done by somebody like yourselves at Nordine's, think about it. That's going to save you money. If you don't have to do it every 15 years and you only have to do it every 25 years, you may not even live in the home when it needs to be replaced.
Well, that's not uncommon to see people move before the shingles go bad after they put them on there. That's not uncommon at all. And you should expect that, because, let's face it, it costs a lot of money to put a roof on a house, and you want to get value for that money, and that's what we try to offer.
All right. Mike Kearns is our guest from Nordine's Remodeling. Their number is 888-4662. Let's just change gears here quickly. We're moving into the fall, and I know a lot of remodeling projects, people sort of get the urge coming out of winter and going into spring, but what is it that's sort of maybe the hot button desire right now? What are people contacting you about outside of things like roofing and storm damage?
Oddly enough, one of the hot buttons this year has been basements. And we've gone through kind of a drought on basements, and all of a sudden everybody and their mother wants a basement.
Well, they're home. A lot of people have been home more than they've ever been home before. Evidently,
there's a great deal to say about that, because we certainly are getting a lot of basement calls. I've got 4 of them on the books right now that we're in the process of. And that's uncommon, because we do a lot of kitchens and bathrooms. And not that I have anything against doing basements, because I certainly like to do basements. But I'm just saying that it's uncommon, the volume that we've had and the interest that we've had in basements this year.
Now, when you talk about basements, Mike, you're talking about, like a rec room or another living room or something like that.
Well, bedrooms, everything. If you can think it's a good idea, we've had a lot of people just.
Sure. Well, I can only imagine the value that you add to your house by adding, let's say you have a 3-bedroom house, but you've got room in the basement to create a 4th bedroom. The resale price of your house with a 4th bedroom, might be significantly more.
It is a real surprise to most people how cheaply you can finish a basement, and in terms of physical space, it is one of the cheaper spaces that you can remodel, because you've already got everything you need. You get a roof, foundation, the whole thing is there. You just need to get into it.
Now, when you have somebody say, hey, I want to put another bedroom in here and a bathroom to go with it, do you arrange for the plumber to join the project? Do you have your own plumbers there? How does that work?
We have a plumber that we rely on. He's I consider him our plumber, although he doesn't actually work for us. But that being said, we certainly want to make sure that we have what we need to do a quality job in somebody's basement. A plumber, let me say it this way, we're general contractors. We don't do enough plumbing to justify having our own plumber, but we have a relationship with a plumbing firm that does all of our work, and that works out very well for us.
Well, that's a great arrangement for a client to know that, hey, once they call you, they know the whole project is, you've got control of it, and that's important if you're somebody who's looking to do a big project like that.
Well, that's where I find when I get out there, and the stories are pretty rampant about people who tried to be their own general contractor and found out it's not quite as easy as it sounds. There's plenty of reasons why you hire a general contractor, and one of those reasons is we get better attention from people that we do business with all the time than you will just coming into this thing cold.
And I imagine that because this particular relationship that you have with this plumbing company that works with you, they know what you do, they know how you do it. You work maybe seamlessly in concert to get everything done. There's a big advantage to that.
There is a huge advantage to that, and it's also a question of knowing at the time just exactly what phase you need to be in when you try to call a plumber in there. A lot of people get things kind of out of order in the process, and there is an order to construction. It has to work a certain way, or everybody steps all over each other.
All right, Mike. Again, the number for Nordine's Remodeling, 888-4662. Anything you want to say before we wrap things up today?
No, but we do windows, doors, decks, floors, the whole bit. I mean, if you've got something that needs done, give us a call and we'll take a look at it.
All right. Mike, it's always good to have you on the program.